I was going to potentially go live on TikTok. But then I made a TikTok. And so instead we need to watch the reposts and do that because May 17th. I didn't include in the video that Dave's YouTube channel is on May 17th, Bill Paxton's birthday. Because I didn't, even though I thought it. And then I looked up, I still haven't figured out Candace's sibling group. But Bob Saget's birthday is May 17th. Jodi Sweetin's TV dad. She was interviewed by her TV uncle. Is he just a friend? Because Uncle Jesse is the brother of the dead mom. He's just a family friend, right, Joey? Am I wrong on that? It's Kimmy Gibbler's birthday. Oh, July 3rd, not 2nd. 2nd is Lindsay Lohan, right? The ones I get confused. December 3rd, yeah, it's 2nd. Lori. Oh, that one came up earlier. Don't remember how. She's nearly certainly on the spreadsheet. Okay, Candace, let's see. April 6th, fun. Adrielle and Alicia's birthdays. Candace Bergen. Where is your siblings? Kirk and Melissa and Bridget. Kirk Cameron, October 12th. Don't remember whose that is. Siblings, Melissa and Bridget. Same siblings. October 3rd. Just. And Dan Go, whose son just died of cancer at 14, his birthday. Recently is where that came up. And now Melissa. Sorry, Candace and Melissa, Okay, next. And was it? I think it was his that was liked by, I can't remember his name. PJ. What is his name? I think it's like Hey PK or something like that. The Catholic guy. The Catholic guy. We'll just stick with that. All right, next. Bridget was the last one, right? Oh, look, she has a picture with DJ. Not my brother's birthday, but birthday, right? 1971. Actually born before any of us. Older than children. Reese, Cameron. 76. She's like a year older than my sister. All right. That's fun. Let's go to TikTok. I will find that. Oh, that's not it. Like the one that's in my with Jodi.
Everyone needs to know what the hell just happened in Hungary.
It's recent. What's happening in Hungary? No, from April 13th. I don't care. I feel like, was he the one whose baby? Did you just have a baby? No, it was someone else who just had a baby. One of the journalist people just had a baby. I think it's the other one that we've watched 2 times recently in the last few days. Repost. Oh, that was the one. Although we also have all these to. This is fun because this one was, and then this one, and then this one. And okay. So many thoughts. Driscoll strawberries. Homophobia. I don't remember. Oh, this woman is named Sydney, and is dying of cancer. It has cancer. Has stage 4 cancer. Is fighting it. Murder women for using birth control. Yeah. The Crash. I finished The Crash. Finally. It took a really long time to start it, watch halfway, and then took a few days off. Not for any, just because it's how I watch things. let's play my video so we know why we got here at the 3, right? The rule for this channel. Olsen twins, and then May 17th one added. Oh, I'm gonna find. Jodi Sweetin is on David Colpier's podcast that I'm watching. It is from May 10th, 2024, and I gotta find. They're talking about the second season, first episode, and the beginning.
On October 14th, 1988. So Jodes.
The episode they talked about aired October 14th, 1988. Want to see where I next see that? The prison riot that killed her father. Today, May 25th, is Allie Priestley's birthday, and all of the things also. She was just legally required to take down some other content claiming a former friend was responsible for a suicide of someone she had never met. Here she is claiming she had nothing to do with putting me in the psych ward on May 10th, 2024, the same day that Jodi is on Dave's podcast.
Allie is directly responsible for me having a 3-week psych stay after she ran a smear campaign for a year. And with all the stress she is adding.
And where else did me, just see May 10th? Well, I grew up with Full House and was thinking about the 3 daughters played by 4 different, because the youngest is played by the Olsen twins. What was their sibling group? Because Candace Owen, I believe, is part of a big sibling group. We have yet to look her up, though, but I know her brother on Growing Pains. Jodi Sweetin, only child, where I found out about her dad and parents and raised by her uncle. The Olsen twins were basically raised as only children because they have 3 siblings, but those 3 siblings are all born much later. So, but check. I was wrong. They were not raised only children because they have a sister, Elizabeth Olsen, who was born February 16th, 1989. So they were young and so when they were 3, their younger sister was born. I had to look at the dates. With how it showed up, I for some reason thought these 2 were the twins, and so I only clicked on these 3. But anyway, so Courtney, May 10th, 1997. Also, Trent, May 6th, 1984. Georgia Priestley, Allie's mom's birthday. Jake Olsen, where I was downtown on Georgia Street, Vancouver, where the AI data centers will be, and then was randomly at the other Hootsuite one. We don't have his birthday. It's also about a haircut, of which I need one at the moment. Definitely need one this week. But instead, I'm gonna either go live or continue watching Dave and Stephanie. That's not her name. Jodi, my aunt's name. Jodi.
People are melting crayons and putting it in their hair, and apparently it.
And so I don't know who this person is. Why would I? They were going to collab with Gypsy Rose, and then everyone threatened to cancel him. So I clicked on his page, and he poured wax in his hair. And I less problem with that, because whatever, the worst you're gonna have is shave your head. Although supposedly I think he might have just done hair. He didn't have hair transplant, whatever. He takes all the crayons out of the box, puts them in a pot, melts them together, and wonders why it's a grayish brown goop. Maybe ask a 5-year-old.
turns you into a human crayon. So I bought 200 crayons and we're gonna melt these down and put them in my hair. And we're just gonna pour these out and start unwrapping. Okay, we got all 200 crayons unwrapped. Let me know if y'all can smell this through the screen. So now we're just gonna pop these in the pot. I wonder what color it's gonna make my hair. Oh. All the crayons are melted. Why is it kind of turning black? We got the melted crayon mixture. Let's start putting it in my hair. Okay. Ow. Oh, it's actually burning my fingers. I want to know why it's black. Ow! Ow! Oh my gosh, it freaking burnt my scalp. I put all the crayons in my head. I am a giant crayon. I got a piece of paper and we're gonna see if my head can color. My fingers have some crayon on it, so... Oh, wait. I can color with my finger, but can I color with my head? Okay, I'm just kind of stroking my head. Drum roll, please. Am I the next Van Gogh? Let me try and do a smiley face. Oh my gosh! I'm an artist! People are melting crayon.
He's 22, supposedly. He's not making content for toddlers, but he's supposedly making school for middle schoolers, and people have an issue with him collabing with Gypsy Rose. Not a problem with him not understanding the basic fucking foundation of coloring. I'm gonna take all these colors and what the flying I like, and I wish he wasn't like, I wish doctors weren't equally as stupid. You know, like I wish we were living in that world. We're not. I have more of a problem with this person has an account this big and you know what I like doesn't you know what I mean? Is it rage bait? Also,
So I melted 200 crayons and put it
doesn't know how to get it out of their hair. You know what I mean? I just, it's not my problem.
People are melting crayons and put
youth of our. Oh no! I wanted my reposts. Go to my repost.
People are melting crayons and putting it in their hair, and apparently,
like, notice how that was green and not. Just reality. If you mix two colors together, you get a new color. Joe. That's not how we go to reposts. I tried to melt crayon in my hair. Also, okay.
I'm a content creator.
Right. The size of this person at a fast food restaurant with the camera angle, all of that. And this person, what is his name? Daddy Snacks. Oh, 429 in that fun. That's when Natalie, sorry. Okay. No. We're here. Okay. This person's content we're gonna go to because I also reposted one of his where he's in Pizza Hut. I haven't watched much of his content, but like, right, no, he's rage baiting. Like, you know what I mean? He's not actually, right? He's not actually being like, yeah, I can pull some views for McDonald's, right? He's a comedian. And, you know, like, you're right. No, and can someone please join me in reality with great solutions for the world we have, right? Food that works, that isn't the Driscoll fucking strawberries.
I don't know if you've heard of me before.
No, unfortunately, I haven't heard of you. So it would be $45.79.
Just me being here is like huge exposure for you, for the company. Do you like really expect me to pay full price?
Yeah, 10% discount.
Oh my god, you guys. I just publicly humiliated myself to save $4 on a burger meal, and I'm literally...
No, if you consider that publicly humiliating himself, he does it all day, every day for his entire platform. We're going to see, right, how many views he has, what that looks like. Right. He's not humiliating the workers. Right? He's not doing what the influencers, the entitled influencer brats actually do, right? He's kind of doing a skit of that at a Carlsberg or whatever it is. I don't know. We don't have to make
only jumping for joy. Oh, and if you're wondering what small business he's promising to put on the map, it's Culver's, which does $4 billion a year in sales. Having 300,000 TikTok followers does not make you famous. Nobody knows who the fuck Will Kelly is. So put the fries in the bag and pay for your own food.
I'm a content creator. I don't know if you've heard of me before.
No, unfortunately, I haven't heard of it.
This is why I ate Pizza Hut when I was over 600 pounds. It was crazy. Let's check it out. All right, guys. Today, we are at the Sucky.
That's also his intro of like, this is what I would eat at this restaurant when I was 600 pounds, which is today, right? Like, that's the whole shtick. Like, it's like, right. Not, right? Let me get it for free. He's not, Pizza Hut's not paying him. Oh, was it Chelsea? I forgot to comment earlier on the other channel where I saying something about I don't think Carlos was paid to make the ad. No, clearly he wasn't paid to make the ad. He chose to make what looks like a paid ad for free because he's going to make money off of selling their perfume. And that's the world we live in now, where influencers are selling multi-billion-dollar brands, perfume and burgers and everything else for a tiny portion of the billion companies, and we're all playing into it by buying the perfume from him. By, you know what I mean? Like, right, is this a paid ad? Yes, he will get paid if you buy it through him. You get to smell like him.
Pizza Hut. I hate Pizza Hut. Is it because they fired me when I was 17 and I was going through emotional issues? Maybe. Today, I'm gonna show you the order I used to get. Huh? Crazy how it's empty in here, isn't it? Looks like since Will Kelly stopped working here, Pizza Hut's been falling off. When was the last time you saw someone eat Pizza Hut? I haven't seen it in a while. Pizza Hut is obsessed with the 80s aesthetic. What was so great about the 80s? Crack? Reaganomics? What? Santi, I have to go to the bathroom. Not even joking this time. The bathroom did smell crazy. I used to clean them spotless. Pizza Hut only has Pepsi products because Coca-Cola's too good for them. So now they have to sell Starry. Who's drinking Starry? Hi, how are you? Can I get 2 personal pizzas? Extra sausage and extra cheese? Oh, look at this air hockey. But no air and no puck. Huh. I guess that's kind of like the rest of Pizza Hut. It looks cool, but is genuinely a failure. Look at this, bro. They don't even have a place for a big man to sit, all right? I can't even sit here. Oh, well. Yes, I can. All right, but still, all right, it's not super comfortable. Sit down, Santi. All jokes aside, I was in.
It's an empty restaurant, but if, right, someone was sitting behind, also smushed up against the table. Yeah, that's a bad design. All right. Anyway, my point is this person's content isn't, right? What's Kevin Lee? Ken Lee? Ken? I feel like it's Ken. Anyway, about the food, right? This is about him being a large man eating at fast food. Like what I ate at 600 pounds. Is he 600 pounds? What I ate at you know what I mean? Like, is this I don't understand my weigh-in. What I eat at 540, so he isn't any longer? What I cooked, anyway, okay. Back to
This is why I had Pizza Hut when I
just wanted to showcase the other. Oh, and he has like just under 500,000. He has under 400,000. So not just under 500,000. Melted crayon. Oh, this one we need to, because so I reposted this one because this came up on my FYP and it's about Ellen and about, we've seen this before. We're going to watch this because this came up.
How do my husband and I keep our kids safe in the
Oh, it's not the same. There was like a Madison. Anyway, it was Emma, Ellen, and I don't remember who else was in the comments, and this person talking about the person who's staying with them having a Patty certificate, so their kids are safe in the pool and they stay with them every summer. And I was like, what the scuba? That doesn't even make sense. Like, why would someone that's not like, you would want a lifeguard who actually knows how to look for like distress in a pool more so than a Patty person. Like, it's like, right, they're not underwater, need to get to the surface. Those are like different skills. But anyway, the whole point of this entire thing is that the person is the other person in the wheelchair. It's her husband, and he's better qualified to rescue their kids than you, me. Right. No, I would trust your kid, your husband. to lifeguard for my child before I would like, yeah, no, I've got zero skill. I'd also jump in the water to kill to kill myself if my kid was endangered, because, yeah, no, that's what's clearly going to be the outcome. We're both going to die, but you know what I mean? Like, last breath of air at the bottom of the ocean. Anyway, I'm going to play this one because now that you know the ending, you get to experience it with hindsight as well.
Pool when we're both wheelchair users? That's a great question. So let's talk about it. This is a question that we get pretty often whenever people see that we have a pool and we have a lot of kids.
I do need to mention, I'm assuming, wait, let's check. How big is her following? Content creator, with 100,000. The family of influencers whose child drowned in the pool last year in May. Trig was his name. I don't know what their last name was because they weren't the Trig family. He was Trig. While the dad was watching, holding the baby, bedding, doing other weird things, constantly, right? While dads are watching, babies end up dying, drowning. It's not on this dad's watch because he knows how. He's not a lifeguard, but he knows how. He knows how to rescue them, knows how to keep an eye out, knows about water safety. The other family who lost their kid to drowning didn't have a safety pool, didn't have anything because, they were just going to positive vibe their kid. I think they're now divorced. Because he is anyway, the amount that children are killed on dad's watch, not by dad, but by the neglect of, and this is the opposite case.
And my husband and I actually take water safety very seriously. And we believe in multiple layers of protection, which is why we just got a pool fence. But what happens when our kids are already in the pool and something might happen? How are we keeping them safe? Well, for us, the answer is pretty simple. We have a dive master stay with us every summer and is always around when the kids want to swim just to make sure that things are okay. And if you're not familiar, a dive master is someone who is scuba certified at a pretty high level. In fact, in order to become a dive master, you have to be a rescue diver first, which means that he is certified to save people's lives in the ocean. So I feel pretty confident that he'll be able to save our kids whenever they're just in our pool in the backyard. And he's not just any dive master. He's actually been featured on television. He has been featured by Scuba Dive magazine. He's been featured by Patty.
Seeing as Bill Paxton's birthday already came up, and Bob Saget's the same day, the TV show Big Love, where he plays the dad and they all are in houses that all their backyards are on a pool that it sometimes has a pool gate, but mostly for aesthetics does not, right? For the aesthetics of the movie, of the TV show, while there's tiny toddlers running about, no one knows where their kids are. It's like 3 moms and a few older teens, and never, TV shows never deal with young kids and their actual safety. The one they're talking about, Jesse ends up in a full thing because he goes to get his hair cut and ends up in a bike crash because his fucking hair, right? And Stephanie blames herself because she's the one who gave him the haircut. Accidentally, a pretend haircut became a real haircut. This is why you use this, right? Not real scissors. That sounds like grown-ass men. You know what I mean? And his hair. That he gets in a motorcycle accident and she blames herself. And then, he can't feed himself. He's got his baby, whichever Olsen twin is there, is laughing at him for not being able to feed himself. Never, right? Do you know how long, when you're in a body cast, how long that would need to be for? Right? And they do this in shows constantly where they have a life-altering injury and then you're better the next day. We never have to deal with this. Kind of like the assassination of Trump on the 13th of July, where he was shot in the ear and there was a band-aid and then nothing, right? You're like, oh yeah, no, we're on the next episode. Of course it's healed. Of course that's totally fine, right? We just need you in a wheelchair just for this episode. Who was just in a wheelchair for a just in a wheelchair in an episode? And I was like, how the fuck did you get that in the house, eh? Hey, that says you haven't Oh, it's gonna bug me.
Itself, which is the certification agency for scuba divers, and he runs an organization.
Boston Blue. It was Boston Blue. It was his new partner, who is the black daughter in the family. The white daughter is the chief of police, the something of like the precinct, and she's his partner. And then the other, they're both of their half brother, because they're not actually related, but they're both related to their half brother, is partners with Mark Wahlberg's son. Anyway, she's in a wheelchair because she was shot. And the Pope was also in that one. That one was chock-a-block full of signs and symbols, as it always is. I don't remember what they are, though. Frickin' Shabbat. In New York City. No, it's not New York, sorry. They're from New York, in Boston. It's in the name, Jubilee.
That teaches youth how to scuba dive. So I feel really secure whenever he's around and making sure that our kids are perfectly okay in the water. Now, you might think that this is very expensive, but for us, it's not. He actually does this for free because he loves me and because he loves our kids, because he's my husband and he's the father of my kids. And he is perfectly capable of keeping our kids safe in the water. In fact, my husband is more qualified to keep our kids safe in the water than the majority of human beings on this planet. So you don't have to be worried about our kids. My husband has got it covered. How do my husband and I keep our kids?
It's so crazy that it's been 7 years since Dakota Johnson knocked over the first domino that would eventually lead to the public downfall of Ellen DeGeneres.
I wish the same comment section existed on the phone as that one. It doesn't. It just doesn't. Because that's why we were watching it, was for the comment section. But Ellen. I'm just gonna press play. We're gonna listen to the downfall of Ellen, who's also responsible for the upfall. That's not the right word, but the upfall of gay marriage. That, like, right, part of the reason we have gay marriage, not in Canada necessarily, and maybe she also was really obnoxiously vegan about our seals being, killed for seals meat and fur, and what they have been killed for longer than smelly white people have been on Turtle Island.
And now we have people who don't know that lore. Her interview on Ellen was so consequential that it has its own very dense Wikipedia page, but here's a recap for the uninitiated. Ellen DeGeneres, if you don't know, is a stand-up comic turned sitcom star, turned undeserved social pariah, turned beloved daytime TV talk show host, turned deserved social pariah. She built her public persona around being nice, which is always a precarious thing to do. Her whole thing was kindness and dancing and we're just having fun, and even with everything that came out later, it can never be erased that she had a truly seismic effect on society by being able to reach your homophobic aunt in her living room every day for 19 years and be relatable. Like, we literally wouldn't have gay marriage without Ellen. But to set the scene, in 2019, she was truly at her peak power. She was the 12th highest paid entertainer in the world, worth hundreds of millions of dollars. She had 33 Emmys, the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor, and the Presidential Medal of Freedom, amongst many other awards. And she was 17 seasons into one of the highest rated daytime TV shows on air. She sits down with Dakota Johnson in November, and they start talking about Dakota's recent 30th birthday party, and Ellen, who often liked to be a little bit of a dick to her guests, claims she wasn't invited. And then Dakota uttered the immortal words, "Actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellen," because she had been invited, she just didn't go. Ellen confirms it with her people in that moment, and then is kind of sheepishly like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I was out of town," and it's awkward but fine, and maybe even a little satisfying. "That's not the truth, Ellen" became a
Also, the downfall of James Charles and the buying of red or blue, red or blue, left or right. Boy, girl, yeah, we're living in a fun world, right? This was the downfall. Remember when Bush was the baddest bad guy? You can see toddler when you look at him, right? All of them.
immediately. But more importantly, it led to people doing some digging and putting together that she was out of town because she was in Texas at a football game with former President George W. Bush. And this led to some major discourse about how a lesbian who supposedly believes in kindness could be friends with an anti-LGBT war criminal like Bush. And I've heard it said on this app before, I think by Crutches and Spice, that when you get to a certain level of wealth, there is no red or blue, there's only green. She had transcended the population she aimed to be relatable to, and now just belonged to the ultra-rich class. The discourse could have fizzled out, but the meme lasted long enough to carry the conversation into the summer, and that's when allegations of a toxic workplace started coming out. The summer of 2020 really felt like there was a new abused former employee speaking out every day. Some of it was about senior management and not Ellen herself, but even in those cases, it was Ellen's job as the big boss to run a better ship. Dakota's interview was the first real chink in Ellen's armor of likability that made people look closer, and the momentum of the following months of controversy led to the announcement in May of 2021 that the next season would be their last. Ellen might have started out as a kind underdog comic, but over the decades, money and power eroded that, and then everything bad that came out just went.
What does MCR stand for? What is 9/11? I don't know what everything else is. Inspired MCR. MCR inspired Twilight. Okay, I'm putting in MCR inspired Twilight and see what comes up. MCR inspired Twilight. My Chemical Romance. Okay. My Chemical Romance. Inspired Twilight. Twilight inspired 50 Shades of Grey. 50 Shades of Grey starred Dakota Johnson. Dakota interview led to the downfall of Ellen. Snake Eyes and Charlie Kirk.
So against her public persona as being the friendliest talk show host that there was no coming back from it, and Ellen retired from show business altogether in 2024. It's so crazy that it's been 7 years since Dakota Johnson.
I know we did this before, but I gotta check. Lead vocal. Listen, if you guys aren't gonna put your birthday right front and center, I'm not even gonna, I'm not go looking for it. April 9th, which I don't know. Nothing off of heart. October 5th, Halloween. Day I traveled to Eric's funeral. Uber pregnant. September. Fucking yeah, that's the day Charlie Kirk was shot. Fabio's birthday. Not his real name. Oh, that's not anything at all. It's not my daughter's birthday, or look at you dying. What'd you die from? OD, suicide, cancer. What happened to Bob Breyer? Cause of death, best cause, undetermined. It's just, it's like pneumonia, race car drives, lots of weird deaths. Maybe just had a fire. July 15th, that's just Carlos's birthday, and my grandpa who died. True Lies came out, all that fun. Oh, there's a Jared. March 16th, 1977. Just the day I think Kelsey's. August 13th. Nothing. Not a thing in my head. July 9th. It doesn't stand out either, although it's come up. So that was both, right? March 13th. August 13th. It's the 13th date. September 11th. Nothing. Not a thing for that date. Okay. Back to... No, we're not going back to. We're going to TikTok. Like, I'm not going using the back button because that'll be ridiculous.
Come on, guys, let's go. Hi, I'm Issa, and I got into guy walking recently.
Guy walking. You know what? Let's watch it, and then we'll go to the repost.
Miss Issa, are you my girlfriend or my mom?
Focus, you asked to be line leader.
I changed my mind.
With spring around the corner, day drinking is about to get out of control, and last year, they forgot how to get home.
Where do we get pussy today?
I have to help them get home this year. Batman's at the next bar. Batman, come on, let's go.
I want a gun.
I'm getting paid like $15 an hour, which is not enough.
Can't do anything. Can't have any fun. No fun day.
Try Snapchat of this girl picture my dick.
I'm going to win $1 million on DraftKings.
I actually think Ethan got kicked off of Lyft last year, so his girlfriend is resorting to a guy walker. I'm getting them home. I'm just tiring them out. Do not jump! Do not jump! It's nice to get them down by the water, but sometimes they can get a little overstimulated. Oh!
Go back!
Come back! Come on, guys, let's go. Hi, I'm Isa.
Just hate her second last name because it is either Isaac and Ishmael. It is Jacob's twin. Twins keep coming up today. Yeah, their twin's birthday. Bush also has twin daughters, which I've looked up several times because Amy Pullman has my dad's birthday. It was anyway. Lots of play the twins reposts. I think we're almost done. We gotta be almost done. There wasn't that many. Oh, money, but oh, the strawberries. We have the whole strawberries to cover. Never mind, we're not. Showed up. My high school bully looks like now.
I was broke, pocket full of lead, live on the bricks, getting paid like no other dog. Nine stacking chips on the road like a trucker, man. Had to take some trips.
Did I accidentally repost that? Do I remember why I reposted that? What is this? Is this somebody's sister? Cuts me off so I do say the most illegal thing in traffic because I'm raised with my dad driving.
I was wrong, and I just can't.
Never seen anybody.
I mean, those dates are relevant, but who are you?
I was broke.
Why are you on my FYP? Why are you in my reposts? Is this you in between? That doesn't make sense. Why are you in between Amanis? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, these are all local. This is about the strawberries. Yeah, no, nothing. All right.
I watched that documentary.
Which I did. Like, it was within 5 minutes of me seeing it. And I don't know what she's talking about. It's because she's. Oh, what else is on her page right now? Why can't Jubilee have a? Because I don't. Because you don't, Jubilee. You're working with the memory you got. Is this what she's talking about?
It's worse than that. I'm going to tell you how it's worse than that. And again, you can listen to people saying this without actually saying it explicitly. So I'm going to say it explicitly. This comment reads, the DNC is literally out here hoping to win by default.
Is that who she's
I've thought about this comment for like a couple hours now, and I can't.
Is that who she's talking about? Is the DNC? Because it's.
I watched that.
Or literally the tank that's about to blow and pressure valves or. And I need the comments to explain. Is that Dr. Shy? Is Dr. Shy here? Which of course I wouldn't see, right? Because anyway, mine would say first comment. Did say first comment, unless Dr. Shy was first comment, but I'm blocked, right? This was not about the doc. At the end, I'm like, too early for the comments to explain to me what it is about. Girl, you're about to fall down a rabbit hole. It's crazy. What are you even talking about? I just need to know what the hell this is in reference to. Right. It's not. It's also in reference to the. Like, you know what I mean? It also is about the documentary and the pressure valve and Chewie seeing the lesser. We get the kids and adults each other are capable of raising. White parents aren't capable of seeing their children as anything but pristine little angels, even when they go out and murder other people. And you're paying for their lawyer and you're seeing them every day in court and you know, like, no, she must have just passed out behind the concept of suicide. Her friend, I'm talking about the documentary, her friend being like, she couldn't be suicide, her birthday, she was so looking forward to it. She was obsessed with this man and wanted to kill herself or teach him a lesson or something, snapped stupid in the moment, and she just didn't die. But she tried to kill her and her boyfriend, and the passenger was just a passenger. The foster parents, whatever, being like, oh, why did she stop the car and let him out? Are you fucking, nobody understands why people do what they do, how children are, how youth are. Okay, guys, I'm about to murder all of us, so if you'd like to get out, just snap decision in the moment and still fucking delusional. Why isn't she taking accountability? Why hasn't any adult ever taken accountability? Except maybe Amani takes accountability.
Documentary, The Crash with Mackenzie Shvilla, and it really strikes me the moment her dad says, I let her smoke a little bit of herb because it's better than some of the worst things that she could be doing. Yeah, they're not gonna like what I have to say. That's just safety valve theory. That is just safety valve theory. That is just literally picking the lesser of two evils. Picking the safety valve has never meant that people don't get harmed. It doesn't mean that the person who is agreeing to be the safety valve will not commit harm either. And it also doesn't mean that the safety valve is actually chosen. Perhaps it's just a facade of the easier route being chosen for your comfort while they go off and do the same things regardless. Because he could have completely chosen to overhaul his daughter's life, actually have real consequences for some of the stuff that she was doing. But he was so terrified of the alternative that he was willing to bargain mostly with himself, not even with Mackenzie, that he was giving her a route to do the things that he already knew she.
Okay, so what? Like, actually, what? What was it that Mackenzie did before in her entitled? Because a lot of it was behind the scenes with her boyfriend who didn't feel like he could go to his friends. Like, all of the weird dynamics of relationships in high school and families and all of that. Her parents specifically, right? Everyone being like, right, we want them to have made the boundary to not smoke pot. Except that's not their boundary in their house. He's like, right, I'd rather her smoke pot than drink alcohol or do any of these things. And the boundary isn't no zero, no tolerance at all. So, and if it was, as we're seeing a lot of people run away, like the consequence of what the child actually does when you set the boundary, what their friend group does, what the cops back you up with, what other parents back you up with, what the teachers do or won't do, what again, the doctors, the emergency room, everyone, the child side, your side is the parent, like, what actually should they have done? Taken away the car keys? Yep. Like, right, but like, she can sneak the car, so get her put in prison, right? Like, okay, so the cops involved. We're not dealing with, like, that she's in delusion that she's responsible for murdering her boyfriend and friend, even though she was in the car and it happened, and she's in prison. And you know what I mean? And then what Dr. Shy here said about, we'll have to go over her account after and showcase that, like, why are you all wanting to gang up and attack her? She's already been taken to prison. Yeah, but the documentary, people have feelings now. They need to go and pitchfork and pull her into four quarters now. Yeah, let me finish the reposts about the strawberries because I need to mention those, and then yeah, I'll post the link and you can come on up and chat. Love to chat.
She's doing that were the lesser of the horrible shit that she could be doing, even though she was doing it in the background regardless. And it would seem like a lot of times with his support. This was not about the documentary, The Crash. I watched that documentary.
Like, my autistic mind can't deal with the end being like, wait, no, it's not about the crash. What is it about? I need a step-by-step, what is it about? And I need anyone but a mind to do it, right?
I watched that documentary, The Crash, with Mackenzie Shrillo.
Who we share the roads with, who our kids go to school with, who their friends groups are, who they are, and like all of it, right? It's a whole society. It's all of it. We are on one globe. We'll watch these later another time. Hassan Piker Media. The Cuba trips is this? Person dying of cancer, murder, and birth control. You know what? I think we're going to cover the Driscoll strawberries. One of the people, and why can't this just annoys me that does that? I don't even think it posted the one that I actually wanted. Oh no, this person. So this person, food scientist, how it doesn't necessarily cause cancer in the people eating them, but it is causing cancer, as by the other two, which hopefully I remember we'll watch another time. In the kids who are living around the place where it's grown. Driscoll strawberries in general, and people like, I know, we'll just boycott and won't use Driscoll's. And you know, I'm playing them. Come help me create a world where you're not giving your kids cancer, right? What are you going to feed them instead? Unless you're going to grow your own, even the farmer's market sells Driscoll's.
Buy strawberries from local farmers markets. They're so much better for you. I literally saw that lady at my local farmers market pour Driscoll's non-organic strawberries into those little cardboard boxes, and then she put them all out on the shelf for sale. And when I asked her, I thought those were supposed to be fresh strawberries. She's like, they are fresh. Meanwhile, I saw so many empty Driscoll's non-organic strawberry boxes, all where she took them out to pour them into her little cardboard boxes. It's your little PSA not to trust your farmers markets either. Buy strawberries from local
Just enjoy it. It feels like a party every day.
This is because it was Driscoll's, and Driscoll's what they've turned off their comments on all of their videos. And is that Lindsay? That is Lindsay Lohan's voice, right? Am I wrong on that one? I'm
Just enjoy it. It feels like a party every day.
It says Ray LPS, but I feel like it's Lindsay.
Here's every
comment, anyway, right? Like it doesn't give you cancer. It's less parts per billion. It's what's allowed in Europe and the UK. And Driscoll is a company who's looking to make money. We're looking to eat strawberries that aren't giving us cancer. They're looking to have perfect strawberries that you're going to buy. We, the people who use the food, eat the food, need to be the people who own the food. Because Driscoll's can't win. They can't produce a perfect strawberry. They go bad. People being delusional as fuck over what food is and needing it to never mold, never just never go bad, but also ants eat it, but like all of it. Everything. Not being part of the food system, right? We need to grow the strawberries together. So we're the ones touching the food, all of right next to the strawberries. Our kids play. Picking them, eating them. We shouldn't have anything on them, right, that we're not willing to have in our food supply. But strawberries, little balls of sugar, everything wants to eat. So to have ones that we want to buy, both they're picked way too fucking early, and they spray them red, and they put them on chemicals so things don't want to eat them, and they mold, and we can have a food supply that's actually delicious, that's not leaving it up to the billionaires to feed us frankenfood that never goes bad, that we want impossible. We want delusional answers.
Conversation I've ever had as a food scientist, Driscoll's Strawberries edition. Hey, did you see that those Driscoll's strawberries are super high in cancer-causing chemicals? I guess I'm gonna have to switch to organic. There is no need to switch to organic. The study that is cited only tests 2 boxes of strawberries total by consumer group Mamavation. Unlike Consumer Reports, Mamavation did not post their lab study at all, so we have no idea what testing methodology they used, which is very important considering you could pick an incorrect testing method to inflate results to fit a narrative. To absolve your fear, let's pick one chemical to look at, pyrimethamine. Pyrimethamine is an antifungal chemical used in strawberries to prevent mold and mildew growth. In the Mamavation study, pyrimethamine was detected at 310 parts per billion, aka 0.31 parts per million. This chemical is also approved for use in the EU and the UK. And in the EU, the maximum pesticide residue level for this chemical is 5 parts per million. This means that the non-organic strawberries were 16 times lower than the maximum amount of permissible pesticide residues in the EU. Let's look at another chemical. The forever pesticide, flunocamide, was found at 32 parts per billion in the strawberries. This is nearly 21 times lower than the maximum limit set by the EU, which is 700 parts per billion. Sometimes seeing numbers associated with pesticides can be scary, but this is why understanding units, regulations, and math is so important. Organic produce also uses pesticides, so it's not truly pesticide-free either. No, I don't care about EU, I care about PU. Here's every single conversation I've ever had as a food scientist, Driscoll's Strawberries edition. Hey, did you see?
This is becoming one of the most devastating betrayals we've ever seen with our food. As research is now officially showing, children near Driscoll's berry farms have 38% higher childhood cancer rates than the California average, and the residents have one simple ask: stop spraying pesticides near school grounds. Local Santa Cruz County residents have been demanding this for years, but the largest berry corporation in the world continues to rake in profits without feeling the effects of what these chemicals actually mean for the people living next to their fields. And the thing is, they're not doing it alone, because big grocery buyers like Costco fuel this directly by demanding consistent fruit and high yields at scale, which makes heavy pesticide use almost inevitable. And the most ironic part of all of this is Driscoll's website literally says they invest in people and places so they can thrive long term. But children in the counties where they grow happen to have nearly 40% higher cancer rates than the rest of California, which doesn't sound like thriving to me. And residents have been raising this issue for years and hearing crickets, while innocent shoppers at Costco and grocery stores across the country enjoy these berries completely unaware of what's happening at the source. So while we wait on Driscoll's to respond, the most direct thing you can do to apply pressure is shift your dollars. I've been able to do this on the Localize app by finding so many small local berry growers using practices without synthetic pesticides. This is becoming one of the most devastating betrayals.
So today I learned that the very popular content creator Shay Food, who does the potluck courtrooms where you get sentenced to
So I don't know who any of these people are. Nicholas, another Nicholas, fun.
This is just a quick PSA.
This is the person he's talking about. I don't know about the potlucks. Reading the Bible that is absolutely 100 fucking percent anti-gay. Like, what did I We can absolutely have conversations about whether Jesus would be. The Bible is. It literally doesn't have anything to say about abortion. It does have things to say about gayness and that it's anti those. It's also anti-crab and lobster. So why one and not the other, right? Not murdering people for eating crab.
And this is very important for believers who are spreading the gospel. If you learn something from your pastor, if you learn something from the word, if you got a revelation, if you got it from another person in God, share it on your page. Jesus don't care how you get the message, so long as you spread the message. Do you understand what I'm saying? Share it on your page. Stop letting these heathens, these sinners shame you. Oh, you're copying it from this person, you're copying it from that person. Hello, we all copy the gospel from Jesus. Jesus don't care who first came, who the revelation first came to. He cares that the revelation is being spread. Share the message. Tell people. Stop being so concerned about creditability. That's for sinners. This is the answer to the people who ask me how I pray for 2 hours. I pray in the spirit. I pray in other tongues. Now, the way you pray in other tongues is you have to receive the gift in order to do it. You can't work towards it. You can't earn it. It is the same way when you get saved and you receive the gift of the Holy Spirit when you say the prayer of salvation. So go to lionheartchurch.org, and where you see pray in tongues, click on it. Okay? After you click on it, you're going to come to this page and click on the bottom one that says pray in tongues class. Then after that, it's going to take you here. You book yourself in and they will send you a link of the date. Now, if you're still struggling or you couldn't find the link is in my bio. They'll take you straight to the booking page. So that link that they're going to send via to your email address is a Zoom link. So wherever
What
is a trans gay man. Biologically female, but we're trans men and we're gay. We like guys.
And I'm the one that's in a psychosis. I'm the one that's mad at it. It's me. It's me. Ha! You see, this is exactly what it looks like when you tolerate everything. This is exactly what happens when you just let go. Basically riding a whole bicycle down the mountain with no brakes on it. This is exactly what it looks like, because I just don't understand. It just don't make no sense. It don't make no sense whatsoever that people are coming out here saying things like this in society and think that this should just be accepted and that it should be okay. This can't be okay, bruh. You know what, personally as well, I personally feel like there needs to be a law that says if you're going to come out here and identify as something, we're going to treat you exactly as what you're identifying as. So if you come out here and tell me that you're a car, don't be surprised when I'm using you as spare parts. You come out here and tell me that you're a tree, I'm using you for wood. I'm going to nail you to the side of my house. You come out here and tell me that you're a lawnmower, come and eat my grass like Nebuchadnezzar. Come and eat this grass for me.
Which is literally like the opposite. And I'm like, yeah, sure, you can be an attack helicopter. Who fucking cares? What does it mean to you that you're a cat, right? But like, I don't know where she lives. She has an accent that would suggest she was not born in the United States of America and probably doesn't still live in the, you know what I mean? What's my point? People around the world, right? And the inability of grown-ass adults who went to medical school to be able to tell the difference between gender and sex, and then the whole youth that, like, I don't even remember the conversation I had with my kid the other day. Oh, it's about Blair White, and they were like, not Blair White, who's a trans woman. I'm like, that's easy. I was like, I don't know. I don't know what you just said. You just spoke another language to me. I don't know what those things are. I couldn't tell you. I can tell you the person was like 99% certainly born a man. And entitlement. I don't know whether they're a femboy, blah, 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 blah. Like, no, don't know. Even the like old school gay, what's the word? Categorization of like bear and easier. For sure easier, but even that was not like, besides bear was pretty fucking easy. Like, I don't know, right? Bear, twink, etc. The need for people to be victimized. My epiphany this morning, I was going to make a TikTok and did not because, you have to make it in the moment or it never happens. That white people, when unemployed, when they don't have a direct purpose, become cops, become soldiers, become cops, become police, become a fucking problem. And a big part because of this, like what is in this video, right? Of like, well, fine, if you're a tree, I'll nail you to the house. If you're this, I'll do. And it's like, or let them breathe oxygen. Give them a glass of water. Ask them what they mean by a tree. You know what I mean? Like, to not understand, though, that people don't, especially when raised in a culture, potentially, where gayness equals literal fucking death, right? The death penalty for being gay. And like watching our green-haired teens, right? Be like, yeah, you're a what? You're a huh? What? I don't understand, right? And that's the point. The point is to not understand. 6'7", 6'7", boy, girl, boy, you know what I mean?
Don't make no type of sense. I literally heard that a man identified himself as a deer, painted himself, went into the forest and got shot and killed by a hunter because the hunter thought the man was a deer. This is what happens. This.
So no idea, right? No idea if that actually could happen. Absolutely. You don't wear, you're supposed to wear camouflage in the woods so that the idiot drunk hunters don't shoot you. And there's idiot drunk hunters now in national parks because Trump was just like, dicks, men, guns, alcohol, let's get it together. Nothing bad will happen. People wanting to be a deer, getting dressed up as a deer and going out into nature, like any human being out in nature, might get shot. Can you imagine though being the hunter, not drunk, thinking you're hunting? Now, right? If you're in the telescope, you're seeing them, you're witnessing them, you're not doing it right that moment. You know what I mean? Like, deer, shoot! Oh my god! So you probably witness that they're a human being. Something weird's going on, right? Like they're moving weird. Something's happening. Hopefully. So now we're back to drunk asshole. But that if you did actually think it was a deer, shot, killed, get up close and like, what? A human? How dare you? How dare you have me kill a human? That's worse to me than like I ate meat and I found out it's human. Like it's like I took a human life. You made me take a human life versus you made me eat something that was already, the life was already not there. Both horrifying. Don't get me wrong, but like, oh. Anyway, we're gonna listen to the white man. Right? Was it? Cop the internet for sure. Yeah, this person also, right? It was like those are gross. Also makes more sense, right? What is that weird white people? What's the word? Potluck food, right? She literally was giving people the death penalty for macaroni salad, right? Like, you want to be a tree? I'm chopping you into wood. You asked for it. It's just like,
These are the things that happen, and it's actually, and you know, the funny thing is, it's not even hate from my end. It's sympathy. This is actually quite sad. It is so sad that there are people out there that don't even see the beauty that God created. They can't see the beauty that God put inside of them, so they literally settle for anything else, even things that are beneath them, like animals. It's crazy. Animals that don't have mind. Animals that God gave us dominion over. There are people down there.
oh, imagine thinking we have dominion over the animals. I remember thinking, oh, delusional as fuck. Oh, I just saw a video of a bear with 4 cubs. And both because I thought it was more than 4 cubs, I actually thought it was 6 because of the way the paws were. And I was like, this is AI. Like, why is no one AI in the comments? I don't understand. Everything's AI. Like, everyone has AI in the comments, even if it's not. No, it was 4 bears, and their content was full of bears. That it was, someone said the limit's the wrong word. The record is six bears. And they're not ducks. They don't steal other people's. You know what I mean? They're not out there. And yeah, I guess people give birth to 1 and every so often 6, right? I'm like, what the? It's hard to get twins through. What's my point? Why am I talking about bears? I don't know. Internet's a wild place.
People, I heard one girl say that she's from a planet called Plushy. We have never left this rotten piece of soil a day in our lives. Like I feel really bad for some of these people. And then the saddest part is they're dragging kids into this nonsense. They're dragging children in it. Little innocent children that just want to watch cartoons and play games. They're dragging kids into this foolishness. And that's just the honest truth. And if people are mad, you're mad, but it is the truth. This is actual mental illness. This is a psychosis right here. This right here. Because this girl is out here telling people that she is a mango tree that blossom and bring forth oranges. That's what she's telling people. It's sad. Good night.
What is a trans gay?
She's telling everyone she's a mango tree who blossoms and gives oranges. It's sad. You know what? Like, and she's not wrong. And she's not right, right? This person's like, right, I'm not.
This is just a quick one
People
from
in charge of mental illness and health cannot distinguish, and that should be your way bigger worry. Not where our youth are, which should worry you on a different scale, that they're taking themselves off this planet, that, you know, like the adults have never grown the fuck up, that like teens aren't having sex and getting pregnant because not that we ever really wanted them to, but a world where teens aren't dating, they're all incels. We're getting children of men. We're getting only Mormons. Mormons for everyone. Oh, because we're the only ones having babies. They're the only ones a world that works, which means designing a world that works for mothers and children and men, but like not around men, like the entire patriarchy is. And women and children are here to serve men. Like society here to serve women and children and their mothers and women by extension, not in a hierarchy. Children at the top, like who children are, gifts from God, come here, fully formed humans. We get to watch come into being, connected to something higher, not little blank canvases. We get to see the adult they become, both like actually physically, like, right, when you see a little child and you can't possibly picture what they're going to be when they're adults, and when they're adults, you're like, of course. Literally what just happened with the Olsen twins and their sister. Because she's in WandaVision, and I've already known all of this. Like, I looked these things up. Like, it's not the first time looking up the Olsen twins, or probably their siblings. But that WandaVision, and like now I'm like, right, no, like she has Mary-Kate and Ashley's face. Like it's not. Same with kind of Candace and Kurt Bergen. I can't remember their last. I just looked at whatever their names are. Oh. We live on a planet with people with various beliefs around sexuality, around gender, around animals and nature, and we have to coexist on a planet that we share. People under stress go through a mental and physical breakdown. Their bodies break down. We're under extreme stress. All over the world, there has been extreme stress for some places generations, some places not. We're watching an ever increasing canary in the coal mine, humanity waking up to who and what we are, as the trio of Abraham, Esau, and Jacob playing out Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, and all of it. Reality, the real true God, exists in reality. The Bible is many shared stories about men, women, children, being who and what we are. Youth being, right? Kick them out! Let's start perpetual war. Great, Abraham. Great plan. They've sent us who we're meant to have. What unfolds in the moment is what is meant to unfold. We make our choices, including the worst atrocities we commit against one another. We do so based on fear, based on hatred, based on whatever the fuck was up with Mackenzie, July 31st of whatever year that was. In the moment, right? I'm gonna fucking kill both of us. Like, I don't remember. I had pots. You fucking bitch. You just cost everyone with pots, right? Their license. No, you don't just randomly black out while driving, as far as I know, right? Standing up, whole other question. Who forgot to put a warning on standing up every time? I need a siren. I need a... Oops. Especially in public. Well, sitting down, though. Slowly. Let the brain accustom.
Management, because a lot of people read Genesis 9 and they misinterpret what God said about the flood waters. God never said that he will never send another flood on earth. God said he will never send a flood that will destroy our life. And scripturally, you know, a lot of people love to talk about God causing genocide in the book of Genesis, but they don't know spiritual law because they don't study it. It was actually Satan that caused that flood. And I'm going to show you exactly how in the Bible. We're going to go through scripture. First of all, there's this thing called spiritual laws. So when Adam died, well, you know, spiritually, when he sinned, a curse came upon the world, right? That Adam didn't just fall away from God, like a curse came upon the world. Stay with me. Some of these curses are like sicknesses, diseases, famine, war, all of these things are curses. But the one curse that a lot of people don't think Satan is capable of is natural disasters. These things that we love to call act of.
what did she delusionally say? Something about Jesus and stuff before, but this is just natural law, right? That like Satan causes all the bad things, but sure, you know what I mean? Like that's not. Oh, the children, right? You're raising children, right? You guys are. Yeah, no, I was raised in this delusional Christian shit. What? I mean, not this exact, right? In Alberta, Canada. And then moved to Raymond, surrounded by Mormons. Because my parents thought it was Christian light, thought it was better probably than the seculars. And it was not. We would have probably done better if we were secular. And we would have done better in a secular small town, both and. Oh. Now we can listen to what this is a sister. Just somebody who's dead now, but I don't know how they died. Did I at any point? Let's listen to this part though.
So today I learned that the very popular content creator Shay Food, who does the potluck courtrooms where you get sentenced to a stoning along with your Uber driver if your potluck is really shit, is violently homophobic. Okay.
Like, is this satire? Might have to click on his account so I know, but also do I need to know? I can just bitch both ways. I can Schrodinger's. Is it funny? Is it, jokes, all of it's just jokes. No, I don't remember though. Meta Jubilee.
What? I know in the last few.
Oh, that right? Like I said, right? No, we're gonna stone to death a biblical for bringing the wrong thing to a potluck, and your Uber driver is also included. I'm sure that's biblical, right? God put Uber driver in there, right? Like, but no one had a problem with any of that. But like now that you found out that she's biblical. But didn't have a problem with stoning.
Days, people have been saying that she stopped doing food content and she's had some kind of like religious psychosis overnight. Like there's a difference between having like a religious awakening. Like if you found a religion that resonates with you, awesome, have at it, bud. But when you use that religion to dehumanize other people,
the entire religion dehumanizes people. Like Judaism, Abraham's gift from God, my land, my babies, my penis, my sperms, chosen by God. My shriveled dick made this baby. We're kicking him like a little more respectfully, Jiggly. Little more respectfully. I can't. I wish I could turn it up. I wish I could be more respectful. I'm just gonna press play. I'm just gonna press play with that gift.
When you've said nothing else about that religion prior, that's a bit suspicious, if you ask me. And I'm not here to shit on that person or make like a takedown video. I just don't feel like I have room in my heart to be that person anymore. And anyone who's been following me for a long time will know that that has not always been the case. I really wish her well. I wish her better. I wish her the kind of love and strength around her that I have in my life that has made me feel better and made me a better person. And it feels like so common. It's been so frequent lately. People we enjoy or even look up to let us down in ways that make it so much harder to get back up and make it so much harder to root for people.
So both he's actually being kind and nice. But like the one is my people at their lowest needing to concern themselves with how we're gonna care about pulling the next person up at their lowest is not what we're capable of at our lowest. That's a ridiculous thing to expect, as we're all gonna keep descending because that's what we signed up for until we create the better beautiful. Want to stop descending? Me too. Any day now. Any day. There's something you just said. Sorry.
It feels like so common. It's been so frequent lately. People we enjoy or even look up to let us down, make like a takedown video. I just don't feel like I have room in my heart to be that person anymore. And anyone who's been following me for a long time will know that that has not always been the case. I really wish her well. I wish her better. I wish her the kind of love and strength around.
I mean, there's both like if someone's actually in psychosis, actually having a mental breakdown, the way that everyone is like, right, so you should have planned this better. This is really inconvenience for us as your fans versus like, right, no, what is she saying that's actually problematic? We're going to block her, makes life unsafe for for trans people in her country she's living in the country people are watching, and like the need to like we can just block and scroll on isn't the anti-cop we need. We need to figure out how to police the internet without the police and lawyers in the current judicial system, which doesn't work for the towns and cities they work out of, let alone for the internet that is ethereal and has the best and worst of humanity on it. Come make better. Grow food. Deal with reality. Don't nail people to houses or to crosses.
Her that I have in my life that has made me feel better and made me a better person. And it feels like so just a content creator. She's got like 3 million followers or something. So no small platform by any means, but it's bigger than that. You know, it's authors, it's celebrities, it's politicians. It's so exhausting to be let down. And what I've found in my own life is that it's so important. It's extremely important, more so now than ever in my life personally, to be around people who support and uplift you and make you a better person, and to really, really get in with both hands and cultivate those relationships and that community around you. And also curate your feeds. Really, really get to know who it is you're following. You know, sometimes, and I'm guilty of this, sometimes we follow people who give us a little one-off smile.
What does it mean to cultivate your feed? Because what you're suggesting, right, is that, okay, because she doesn't have the Venn diagram of exactly our, right, a lot of assumptions, shared values, she's not worth following to listen to about anything. When she clearly offers a different perspective and offers it in a way that however many millions of people followed her, has a way of, right, to not deal with who we are as a species, our storytelling, our charisma, just all of it. Who are we following? Therefore, everyone needs to, right, put their, well, since you're from that country, I'm going to need to really break down, or do you agree with the horrific laws that are there? And you answering it could put you in danger, and your whatever you disclose online in danger. In a country where people are like, everyone hates me and people like me, so I'm going to be out and proud that I'm me. Putting yourself at risk, painting a bullseye on yourself. To be anywhere else but that reality is delusion. Animals in the animal kingdom, right? Some of them are brightly colored because they're poisonous, and some of them are brightly colored because they're mimicking things that are poisonous because they're hoping not to get eaten. But if they do get eaten, jokes on them because they're not poisonous, and the thing learns they're yummy and delicious, and now we can spot all of them. They're really easy to find. We just have to distinguish between this and this. And we told our children to dress brightly colored for predators in the global village who were always going to eat them from the time they were fucking born. Haven't grown the fuck up. Haven't. But your pronouns. But your. Who to kill first? We need an actual plan. We need actual safety in our global village. It's not delusional as fuck. Anyone.
Because of a video we saw, and we don't really know who that person is or what that account is about. I think we need to be a bit more discerning, because we end up accidentally platforming people who are not great for us, collectively speaking.
Like James Charles, like Tim Ballard, like Kyle Cease, like Trump. I can't think of any of the. Who's the one in Canada? I don't know. I didn't follow him. He has a TikTok name. I don't know what his actual.
And Shay might be a little different, because that either this is brand new or she was some kind of like a homophobic sleeper agent from the get-go. I don't know. That was a shock. But that's just.
What the fuck do you like? What do you mean homophobic sleeper agent? Was she going into gay nightclubs? No, she was on TikTok, a global platform where we, the people of the globe, should know that the globe ain't safe for gay people. Well, we're putting on gay raves and telling people in other countries where they can be murdered by their own family, right? Oh my God, we should just blog her. I totally thought she was American. Why would you why would you think that? Because different accent. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay, all right. Just not me.
Just one example. I see so much of that happening, and I just wanted to make a video to check in on you guys. Oh my God. That disappointment is becoming far too common lately, and I think we should just love each other more. I think we should just be better to each other. I think we should care about each other. I think we should understand each other better, and I think we should wish well for each other. Even Shay, who will never see this video, but I really do. I really hope that she finds the kind of healing that she needs to pull herself out of this poison. And it's poison for the soul. I don't believe in any particular esoterica, so I'm not like saying soul in the traditional sense, but it really is like for your psyche, for your identity. It is so very, very bad for you to use righteous indignation as a cover to hurt people. I think that's really sad, and I hope that she.
Righteous indignation as a disguise to hurt people. Again, we're going to stone to death the person who brought whatever and the Uber driver, right? Jokes, just jokes, is us collectively being like, right, no, that is a death penalty offense, bringing that potato salad. How dare she not tell us she was homophobic? You know, like, did we ask? What's your 17-page dissertation on? This is the word, right?
So
like,
a Republican.
While purple green hair equals question mom and like all of the fucking crazy in the United States. Canada ain't far behind. Alberta's trying to separate. Our children are in the Hunger Games, and they don't have camouflage. They're dying there. They're putting themselves online on TikTok dances with bullseyes. Going to school, right? They're like, well, yeah, well, what is it safer than school? With the pedophile teachers and the people coming in and shooting it up. The adults need to deal with reality. 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 And the toddlers are in charge of all of it. Every corporation, every not-for-profit, every city, town, province, country, church, synagogue, like every single one of them. Toddlers who haven't grown the fuck up. I need anyone to have a nap, grab a binky, and come create world peace. Anyone.
Republican in North Carolina has just introduced a bill that would legally allow men to murder women who use an IUD for birth control, who attempt to end their pregnancy for any reason at any point at any time, or use IVF. Go read it for yourself. They have lost their damn minds. This bill reads, "It is a matter of indisputable scientific fact that a distinct and separate human life begins at the moment of fertilization." That's before the egg is implanted in the uterus.
Jodi, Sweetin. It's in the description, I believe. The reason I'm watching is Children Stars, right? She's a grown-ass adult. My age, I believe, like, who grew up in the public eye with more than three actually, because it was Aunt Rebecca as well and all the other adults on set, but like 4 other adult stars and then the other kids. Her being such an amazing actress at that exact age when the twins were cast because they were identical twins that were, you know what I mean, able to do things on cue, basically didn't know how to not act. Like, they're like, yeah, no, that's... they probably know how to act better than to not act. Is probably the Olsen twins issue. DJ being older and not being the same quality of actress as Stephanie, as Jodi. Her going on and going to school after, because I think Candace was like a high schooler, university level after the show, and she probably wasn't. The amount celebrity kids, now influencer kids, both their parents' platform and their own platform, get bullied because, and it comes with money, and it like just all... Jodi was bullied at school, and that's the part I'm watching for. Because, like, yeah, hearing that part, I want to be that. Does not bring out the best in people. People aren't like, gee, so then maybe I should be nice to her so we could be friends. And then maybe I could actually have that happen. They, like, literally want to murder her and wear her skin, right? Like, or the teen version of that. They're like, right, no, I'm gonna bully her. I'm gonna tell her outfit's horrible. And then why aren't they taking accountability? What adult is taking accountability? James fucking Charles.
And here's the part they really love. Any person has the right to defend his or her own life or the life of another person, even by the use of deadly force if necessary. They are literally telling men in this bill, which will probably go nowhere, that you can go ahead and murder a woman for using an IUD or trying to end your pregnancy. And then it says any person who willfully seeks to destroy the life of another person by any means at any stage of life will be held accountable for attempted murder or murder in the first degree. They want to give a fertilized egg full rights under the North Carolina state constitution. So this would not only criminalize birth control and IVF and emergency contraceptions, but this would allow the general public.
First of all, if you think this isn't already basically passed, you're delusional. Like, again, even Trump's and all his buddies have basically already passed everything because the laws don't apply to them. Why the fuck would they? Why, you know what I mean? They get to literally do anything they want. Crisis pregnancy centers that are not delusional pro-life centers dressed up as pregnancy crisis centers, right? But actually, it is now a crisis in America to be pregnant in any state that has any kind of law that prohibits healthcare for mother and or baby at any step along the way. based on lawyers and judges and not based on doctors and medical. To have both crisis pregnancy centers that actually offer abortion offer things at the like, right, we don't fucking care if it's illegal because this is life or death needs to happen, but also in the world where you're forcing people to give birth if they get pregnant, having the option for them to keep that baby and or it to be raised by the village, not to go to foster care, not for it to go to a for-profit adoption industry, which is why they're all up in everyone's uteruses anyway. Because infertile white couples need to be able to buy a baby to complete their family to get into heaven in Mormonism, etc., etc. Fixing it means actually dealing with when and how we get pregnant and the babies, and not putting it on women that, like, how dare you get pregnant instead of the fucking men folk and their orgasms. And I just, we've done it wrong. And when anyone wakes up and sees what I see, we can start clothing the penises. You know what I mean?
Public to just murder women. They're not even talking about trying these women. We are talking about giving men the right just to murder women out on the street, free to go if they think she's using an IUD or attempting to end her pregnancy. And they don't care if a woman has been violently assaulted or she's about to lose her life. None of that matters. And yes, this bill will probably go nowhere, but you need to know who our elected officials are. And somebody wrote this bill out and submitted it. So a Republican.
So I just
This one's also 429. Weird. She's reading in real time. I don't know how reading in real time her results and people being weird of like you reset. No, that looks like it's real. It looks like it was set up in real time to me.
Hey, do you guys have any more room under there?
Exactly. Anyway, we're gonna look at her account for a second.
Okay. Hey, do you guys have any more room under there?
I just got to my hotel and I'm so happy to be here. Oh my gosh, it's sunny and I think I'm gonna go lay by the pool, but the trip here was slightly insane.
Okay, so we woke up to my oncologist coming in and saying that he will no longer treat me and is basically transitioning to me to end of life care. And I said, no. So we are switching hospitals and we're going to somewhere that will treat me because the TIL is still in place and we are not at the point where we're giving up. So, okay, so we woke up to.
So I believe she has stage 4 cancer. I don't know where it started. Stage 4 means that it has spread, so it's multiple places.
Guess who's home? My mom literally just left.
So this makes me does make me worry more so than like what's her name? Eugenia Cooney, who is dying of anorexia. We'll all watch that. Having stage 4 cancer, right, and running a marathon will kill you faster. At the same time, if it's what you want to do, if you're, you know what I mean? Like if it's what brings you joy, you know what I mean? I'm like, you know what I mean? If she was smoking a pack of cigarettes a day, I'd be like, yeah, okay, you know, like, all right. So why not a marathon? But like if you think it's bringing you health, if you're doing it for health reasons and don't understand that's actually destructive, not healing at this, you know what I mean? Marathon? You're going to be running a marathon? That seems. And in Miami, I believe.
Guys, my doctors came back in and my electrolytes are all actually much higher than they have been, not lower. So I just wanted to correct
myself because I've been feeling so much better today. And also, all of the teams know that have come in that I'm going to Miami and I would not travel if they did not want me to. And all of them are like, based on everything that we've seen, you're good to travel. So I just wanted to be clear about that because I would not risk things.
This, like, have fun in the sun for a trial. Again, to be in a trial that, what? Like, we have collectively not dealt with death, right? And nor probably ever will we collectively, but like children and young people getting terminal diagnosis, that it is their diagnosis and their family's diagnosis, losing their future. But like the amount that babies and children have to play well and happy and fight it, and like instead of like, this fucking sucks. Like, right, let her have a vacation. She's probably not going to make it till next year. Like,
like that. And I'm very excited. And I think the sun will be healing. Do you have anything to say? And Mama's repping her cholangiocarcinoma sweatshirt.
CCF, baby. It's her sweatshirt.
It looks good.
I'm just the model.
You do look like a model.
Right.
Queen.
That's funny.
Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Hi, besties. I figured we could do a little mini get ready with me. Guess who's home? My mom literally just left. It feels weird to be recording. I feel like I forgot how to do this, but I'm going to try on the dresses that I got and try to
play that part because like the brain fog of like, maybe it's because her mom was there and I don't know how long she was there for. Maybe she was there for months, right? And like her mom would record, so there'd be someone there, but like I forgot how to record. But also I know how to do this. I could do this in my sleep. Don't worry, I'll do it up till my deathbed. Like, yep, that's because it's something her brain can do. The process of her dying soon. Yeah, which is also like, it's more the delusion of like, right, no, we're not done fighting, we're gonna still live, as opposed to, right, no, you only have a certain number of months left. How do you want to spend them? Who do you want to spend them with? And as well as having crisis pregnancy centers that deal with the fact that a human being is created, right, like thereby raising humans to adulthood in community, mother baby part of community, people dying part of community, because I mean hospice, dying process, trying to live process, all very related. And let's go back to giraffe. 429, more 429s. We're cute.
So according to Fox News and a bunch of news.
Oh, you know what? Let's listen to the Cuba one first, because I don't think we did. Where is the Cuba one? There we go.
Guys, I want to say something.
Yeah. Cuba and Canada versus Cuba in America. Many Canadians. My brother's been, I think Cuba's basically the only place he's been. I don't remember him being anywhere else. Well, like America to visit Tirza and such, but like, I know he wants to go to Japan, but I don't think he's been before yet. Cuba being somewhere that Canadians go, and it's one of the few places that you have to bypass America. Americans being overly obsessed with Cuban cigars. People who, when they go, do bring suitcases full of stuff, knowing that there's a boycott. Trump basically genociding Cuba, doing what it did to Venezuela, and then being like, and Cuba gets nothing. No one gets to trade with Cuba. I don't even know what's going on in Cuba. They've gone completely dark now. Like, the horror that is going on this planet right now, the world over, and Cuba is some of the most ingenious people, much like Palestine, because of what they've went through over the last decades and generations. Very resilient, very we humanity cannot afford to lose these people. We can afford to lose the billionaires. But we can't afford for them to feel like we can, because they're going to take all of us with them. All they need to do is let go of the money, and we all get to live happily ever after.
About Cuba really quick. Someone sent me a DM, horrible DM, but I want to say something to you guys, okay? I want to say something. I want you guys to imagine this, okay? Imagine you're born in an island, a very beautiful island, but you could never leave this island, ever leave this island, okay? You grow up, you start growing up, you go to school. This school is falling apart. The bathrooms don't work. There's no fan. There's no air conditioning. It's super hot in the classroom, okay? There's no food at the school to feed the kids. So if you're lucky, at your home, you have bread and you have butter and you have sugar, and your mom or your dad fixes you a piece of bread with butter and sugar, and that is what you're sent to school for the day. You go home, and the electricity is still not on. So your parents are running around trying to feed you, find whatever they can to feed you. You go to bed hungry with the heat. And this has been happening your whole life. You grow up, you become a doctor, or, whatever. The cycle continues. You have kids, everything continues. You're a doctor. You get sent away for 2 years. You don't see your family, working your ass off in another country. You come back, they take all that money from you, and they only leave you with $5,000-$7,000. Meanwhile, they kept over $100,000 of your hard-earning money as a doctor. You can't even buy a car. You can't even take your kids on the weekends anywhere. Let's say you take your kids somewhere and you pass by an ice cream shop, and your kid says, I want an ice cream. You can't even afford one scoop of ice cream because it's $5 and you made $20 that month. Imagine that, okay? That's your whole life. For the rest of your life, you can't do that. Meanwhile, the government and their friends and families are living like kings, flying in and out, eating steaks that you have never had. That is Cuba. And that has been happening forever. You can go into a hotel and enjoy a piece of coffee. You can't go to the beach because you can't afford to get on a train or a bus. That is Cuba. They've been suffering for years.
I'm gonna play one of the other ones about the island in Canada. And imagine Cuba, Thailand, the Philippines having that be their tourist industry, sharing with the workers the salary. The tourists paying an astronomical amount of money, or you're not coming in, not happening, you're not invited. Oh, or woofing, right? Sharing in labor, meeting each other, not slavery and pretty views with slavery.
Years and years and years. This is not just nothing new. Am I excited that they indicted Raul Castro in every regime? Heck yes, I am. So when you tell me that Cuba is one of the best places to live and you have never even been there or experienced that, just imagine living in a place that you could never leave. So don't. And if your child gets sick and you can't find Tylenol to bring down their fever, and you do find Tylenol, you're charged $20. When you go, you can't find syringes for your diabetes family, ibuprofen. There's none of that. But meanwhile, the government, the regime, and all their friends have access to all that. And you, as a normal human being that has worked your whole life in Cuba, don't have access to any of that. So don't send me any DMs talking nonsense because you have no effing idea. Have a great day. Guys, I want to
She grew up on a remote Canadian island with no electricity or running water. She became a fiber optics executive and retired at 42. Then she came home and built one of only 2 hotels in Canada with 3 Michelin keys. This is Fogo Island Inn, 29 ocean-facing rooms off the coast of Newfoundland. The founder is Zita Cobb, an 8th-generation Fogo Islander whose father was an inshore fisherman. When the Canadian cod fishery collapsed in 1992, the 2,400 people here nearly lost their entire economy. So Zita came home and started a charity called Shorefast. Shorefast built and owns this inn. And here's the key difference between this hotel and almost every other luxury property in the world. 100% of the operating profits go back into the island. Half of every dollar guests spend stays directly on Fogo. 96% stays in Canada. There's no tipping. Instead, 15% of revenue is shared as a staff bonus. And every guest receives an economic nutrition label showing exactly where their money went. But this isn't just a social experiment. It's extraordinary hospitality. You can't dig into rock this hard. So Fogo Islanders have built on stilts for nearly 400 years. The inn does the same, in steel. 120 quilts, hand-stitched by local quilters, each one signed in the corner. A community host program that pairs every guest with a lifelong Fogo Islander. A forage, gather, cook food program with 80% of the ingredients sourced from the island or surrounding waters. Cod, snow crab, partridge berries, sweet gale, spruce tips. Fogo Island has 7 seasons. Pack ice, berry season, the storms of November, to name a few. The inn's menu changes for everyone. At 6 a.m., a wooden daybreak basket appears outside your door with coffee and a fresh baked good. Every spring, ancient icebergs drift past your window through what locals call Iceberg Alley. This is what regenerative hospitality looks like, not amenities bolted onto a hotel. The hotel itself is the engine keeping a 400-year-old culture alive. Would you stay at a luxury hotel that exists to save an island? Let me know in the comments and follow for more content like this. She grew up on a remote Canadian
So, according to Fox News and a bunch of news outlets, the feds subpoenaed Hassan Piker, Medea Benjamin, and other activists and organizers who went to Cuba. And as someone who was actually on the delegation with Code Pink and who has gone to Cuba more than once with Medea Benjamin, let me just say that this regime, all of those right-wingers that were getting online when we were on our trip talking about we were partying, that Code Pink threw a concert. Oh, and let me not forget all them white Cubans in Miami that ain't in Cuba can eat shit. And let me set the record straight, especially since these billionaire-backed media companies wouldn't care about the truth if you slapped it on their forehead. While folks were getting online spreading propaganda about that Cuban trip, having not stepped nary a foot in Cuba, let me remind the masses that while Americans can travel to Cuba, it is heavily restricted, which means that number one, we have to get a visa. And we cannot travel over to Cuba as tourists and can only travel under 12 authorized categories according to OFAC guidelines. And the OFAC is the Office of Foreign Assets Control. So those categories have to be religious activities, educational activities, visiting family, or humanitarian efforts. In addition to that, as I said in multiple videos when we came back from Cuba, the United States Department of State does not allow Americans to stay in any of this list of hotels. Because our delegation specifically came by the hundreds, we did not stay as what is known as a casa particular, but at a hotel that's approved by the United States government. Which makes me wonder, when right-winger and white supremacist Nick Shirley flew to Cuba and lied saying that he was quote unquote kidnapped and couldn't leave Cuba. If you look at these amazing curtains here, they belong to Hotel Nacional. For fact-checking purposes, Exhibit B. But what's interesting is Exhibit C. And the fact that Hotel Nacional de Cuba is on the restricted list. So while back in the day, the Hotel Nacional saw the likes of Frank Sinatra, Marlon Brando, Nat King Cole, it's actually illegal for Americans to stay there. But also Nick Shirley is not Cuban, so that crosses off family. And then in addition to that, he wasn't going there for religious activity. And I didn't see him giving out any humanitarian aid. So where's Nick Shirley's federal subpoena, since we're caring about legalities? So according to Fox News and a bunch of news outlets, the feds subpoenaed.
And another thing that was really hard growing up in a racist family was my mother. And I didn't realize that she fetishized black men, but hated me. And I was like, why would you get with a black man if you don't want a black child? And she used to call me Negro and like, just always like, I wasn't pretty as my sister. I wasn't my sister. And she made that very clear from just about the moment I was born. Is like, I'm not my sister. And my sister is also multiracial, but she just came out very light. Like she's Puerto Rican, white, and black.
And she just came out lighter. Like she was extremely light, had colored eyes, had that beautiful hair that was like nice and soft, whatever. And then there was me. And when my mom left me at 5, her reasoning was she just didn't like my cheekbones. She didn't like my skin color. My hair was too hard to manage. I was too hard to manage. And then I went back in her custody when I was 10, and I was always aggressive and I had behavioral issues and there's just something wrong with me. And I'll never forget, I was in 8th grade. And I was dating this little black boy, and he had a cousin who had this massive afro. Like it was like crazy huge. Like it was really cool. But there was a day that she picked me up and she was pissed drunk, and she came inside and she was chasing this boy around downstairs. Like, I mean, like they were running, and like, cause she was trying to grab his hair and touch it. And he was like, get away from me. Like, you crazy fucking woman. And I was so embarrassed, and I was just watching and I was like, I don't know what's going on. And my boyfriend was looking at me kind of like, this is what you live with? And I was like, is this not normal? Like, and there were so many things about my life that just weren't normal. And I grew up feeling very ugly and very much like I hated my skin. I hated my eye color. Like it was just, my eyes are black. Like my skin is black. Like I'm just ugly. And it took until my mom passed away for me to start feeling beautiful. And that's when I was like 23. And she would always tell me like, I was this special kind of black girl. And she would always tell me like, I'm glad you're not like the other black girls. Like my daughter holds herself up with class, like, and just being weird. And she'd post it on Facebook and tag me in it. And I wouldn't ever say anything. I was just kind of like, what is like, cause me and my mom, like we ended up just like not like talking. Like I didn't talk to my mom after I was like 19, because she just bounced on me one day when we were living together. And I was like paying all the bills basically. And I just realized how disposable I was to her and how disposable she sees like black men, because she would hit on them and love them and like always want to touch on their like hair and just be super weird. But when it came to her daughter, like
it is fucked up and absolutely true that women can fetishize black men, can fall in love and have a romantic, absolutely want to be with them till death do you part, want to have sons, and hate their daughters for the exact same quality they love in their sons and husband. In this case, blackness, but in other cases, other things. Like we can give birth to our victims. We can give birth to somebody we hate. Like all the narcissism, all the horrificness, your mother, your father, your sister, your brother. Who allows people to abuse who in the family?
she'd be like, oh, I have a black daughter. Oh, I have a black daughter. Like she was one of those moms. But when it came down to loving me, she didn't. And it was such a weird experience. And it's so weird growing up in a family that doesn't want you and doesn't understand what they did. Like my mom didn't understand, like, when, like, I still don't get to this day. I'm like, you mess around with a black man, you're going to have a biracial child. That's what happens. And I thought I was going to be like that, that certain type of light skin, like girl. And I just wasn't. And like, I understand now that I am fairly light. Like I understand now. Like I did post a video and people are like, you're mixed. Stop saying you're black. And I was like, okay, like chill out. I don't know what I am. And I'm freaking out all the time. Leave me be. Like, let me have a sense of some kind of culture. And that's just how I was growing up. I mean, it's super weird. And I struggle with it now. As a 27-year-old woman, I'm still very confused all the time. And another thing that was really hard growing up in a racist family was being the sibling to a murderer is absolutely insane. Because I completely understand the family's pain and why they never want to see my little brother get out. Because he was 18 years old when he did it. And he was still technically in high school. And he tells me sometimes like how, like he's trying and he's changed and he wants to get out and all that. And the other part of me is like, we weren't raised like that, but we weren't raised at all. Like no one raised us. And that's why we are the way we are, I guess. Like my sister took her own life. My mom took her own life. None of us had dads. Like we're all half siblings. So, and none of us had our dad. But I'm like, that's not an excuse to take someone's life. And it's just like, I love him at the same time. And it's such a weird feeling because I love my little brother and I want him to get better. And him talking to me, he tells me like that keeps him on the right track. He has someone to reach out to and talk to, and I love him. But the other part of me is like, why did you do that? Why? Like, you can never take that back. And I don't know anyone else who's like, little brother did that. And I always keep that like to myself. Like when people ask about my siblings, I just say, yeah, I got a little brother. Every now and then I'll say he's locked up. But when they ask what he did, I'm like, he murdered somebody. Yep. He murdered them. But I'm like, damn, like, it's such a weird thing. It's such a weird feeling. I will never get over the fact that my mom decided to have a child with a fully black man. And when I came out, I was too black for her. And she literally was like, return this one back to the sender, and left me when I was 5. And it was all because of my race. And I didn't find this out till after she passed away. So I never got to confront her on this. And now looking back, it all makes sense, and how she treated me and the things that she would say. Like, she would always say, like, she would call me Negro. And like, that should have been a red flag, girl. Like, I should have already knew, but for some reason I thought my mommy loved me.
I was trying to find out who her sister is because I feel like her. I don't know. Anyway, I can't because different on here than on phone. All right, I'm ending this here. I need to go have a nap. See you next time.